Hey guys, this is Ganesh. Welcome back to Ganesh Jadhav Automation Studio. So today we are going to learn about the difference between database management system and structured query language. I heard from multiple people like they are having an issue, they are having a confusion between the database management system and structured query language. So today we are going to learn these concepts in detail, guys. Uh, okay. So first of all, we are going to learn what is meant by the DBMS. So DBMS stand for database management system, and we can say that what is meant by the data basically. So data is a collection of small data unit of information, okay, and it can be used in variety of form like text, numbers, media, bytes. Okay, so we can store so data is nothing but this is a collection of so small unit of information, and we can store our data into the text, numbers, media files, bytes. Like in this form basically we can store our data. So a database is an organized collection of data so that it can be easily accessed and managed. So your database is always an organized collection of data so that will easily access and manage. Basically the main purpose of the database is to operate a large amount of information by storing, retrieving, and managing the data. So this is the main purpose basically we have. So your database is manage everything. Your database is manage everything. So database basically we are using for storing our data. Okay, and there are n number of database available in the market like MySQL, Sybase, Oracle, MongoDB, Informix, PostgreSQL, SQL servers. Okay, so in this tutorial, basically we are going to learn about the PostgreSQL server. What is meant by the PostgreSQL server? What is the usage of giving you an example about the DBMS? So right now in my system, PostgreSQL system is installed. So I'm just opening the PostgreSQL command prompt, and here you can see, guys, I'm showing you the database. So if I can see the database over here, simple, I just need to use / and L, or L it means list. So you can see, guys, these many databases we have. So your data is always stored in the database. Okay, this is the important term I would like to tell you. So your data always stored into the database, and this data is stored into the table form. So whenever we are creating the table, that table always we are creating in the particular Postgres. Now suppose if you want to create a table, simple I can use the command over here like create table, table name, suppose I'm just giving the name of the student, and simple, this is the table name basically I'm just giving, and here I'm just providing the particular column basically id, like integer, and name. I'm just giving this example over here. Okay, now once this is done, and I just need to provide a last I need to provide a semicolon. Here you can see, guys, this is how my data table basically created. So whenever we would like to store the particular data into the database, that time compulsory we must need to create a table. So this is the thing basically I would like to tell you. And here you can see, guys, like whatever data table I created over here in this Postgres table, here you can see select a star from table name. I can see the information of this table. Okay, so you can see, guys, this is id and name. These are the two column basically we have. So this is thing basically I would like to tell you about the database. And if you are looking at the SQL, so SQL is nothing but this is a structured query language. It means, guys, so SQL is a short form of the structured query language, and it pronounced as SQL. Sometimes people are like many people are calling it as an SQL, or sometimes they are calling it as a SQL. So this is how the many people pronounce of this pronouncing of this SQL. So SQL is used to perform operation on the records stored in the database, such as updating the records, inserting the records, deleting the records, creating and modifying the database table view. So these many operations performed by the SQL. It means whenever we want to store the data, that time database we are using, and whenever we want to perform some kind of manipulations over those data on the database, that time we are using the SQL language. So basically SQL language, whatever SQL language we have, the syntax of the structured query language is not a case sensitive. It means if you are writing this query in the capital letters and in the small letters, that doesn't matter. Here you can see, guys, here I just use the capital letters over here. If I'm using select star from my table name student, and here you can see guys, still I can able to fetch the still I can able to fetch the information of this data table. This is the main point of the SQL. So SQL query, SQL syntax is not case sensitive, so you can perform most of the actions in the database with the SQL statement. So in short, I would like to tell you guys, so SQL is nothing but this is just a structured query language, and we are using this structured query language whenever we want to fetch the data from the database. And database is nothing but whenever we want to store the data into the database, that time database we are using. So database have the many different time, like a relational database, we are having like we are using most of many times we are using the relational database basically. So relational database, it means we are storing our data into the table forms, and those tables basically showing the relations between each other. So this is the main term we have, and this is the only difference between the DBMS and SQL. Now if we are looking at the differences, here you can see guys, it is used, so first of all, database, it is used to manage a database, for example MySQL, Oracle, MySQL, Oracle, Postgres, SQL, Postgres. So these are the basically database example. And if you are looking at the structured query language, it is a query language, not a database. So SQL is a query language, and this is not a database basically we have. Then another point, it performs various operations like database creation, storing data, updating data. This is operations basically we can perform on the database. But in other side, about the structured query language side, it performs various operations on a database like creation, deletion, and modification. Third point we have, it provides the security to the database. So database basically always providing the security on your data. And about the structured query language, it is designed managing data in RDMS, relational database management system. It means whatever data you stored, like relational database basically you stored, relational database, it means guys, we are storing our database into the we are storing our data into the table form in the relational database management system. And whenever we want to fetch those data, we must need to fetch those data with the help of the structured query language. Then fourth point we have, it contain automatic backup and database recovery options. Like in the database system, we have the automatic recovery options basically we have. And about the fourth point, in the structured query side, it allow the users to create a view, stored, procedure, functions in a database. So basically, structured query language allows the users to create views, views basically on the database. Fifth point we have, it can control data redundancy, that is, it stored all the data in one single database file. So basically, whatever data stored in the databases, so we can store in the single database. We don't need to create the multiple databases. We don't need to create. You can create the multiple data table into the particular database, but you need not to be create the multiple databases basically. About the SQL sites, it helps in creating, updating, deleting data from the database. So basically, it is helping for and creating, updating, deleting and database from the database. This is a fifth point basically we have, fifth difference we have. And last difference we have between the database and structured query language is it can reduce the complex relationship between the data. With the help of the database, we can reducing the complex relationship between the data. And if you are looking at another side about the SQL, it consists of different type of SQL structure like DML, it means data manipulation language, DDL, it means data definition language, DML, it means data manipulation language, and TCL, it means transaction control language. So these are the things basically we have, and structured query language is mainly worked on these areas. And this is the thing basically I want to tell you guys about the difference between database management system and structured query language. I hope you really understand these points. And that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching this video. Have a good day. Bye.